Okay, final video for today will be about dividing rational expressions. So again, let's think about it with numbers. If I have 2 divided by 1/4, I'm thinking about 2 whole groups. And then I'm dividing into fourths. So here's a fourth, here's a fourth, here's a fourth, here's a fourth. Let me do the same to the other. So I notice when I take 2 things and divide them into fourths, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fourths. So 2 divided by 1/4 is the same thing as 8. I also notice that 2 and 4 work together to multiply to 8. So when we're dividing fractions, you may have heard the rule of keep, switch, and flip. And we see a picture as to why that works. So we can think about this as keep the 2, switch it to multiplication, and then flip to your reciprocal, 4/1. 2 times 4 is in fact 8, and 8/1 is just 8. Let's apply that same idea over here with our rational. So we've got 5x over x plus 3 divided by x squared plus 6x plus 5 over x squared minus 9. So right here we're going to keep. Then we're going to switch to multiplication. And then we're going to flip to our reciprocal, x squared minus 9 over x squared plus 6x plus 5. In the previous video, we learned that when we multiply, we just multiply across. So let's rewrite this as 5x times x squared minus 9 over x plus 3 times x squared plus 6x plus 5. I don't see any common factors with the way this is written, so I'm not sure what would get simplified. So now we're going to rewrite each of these quadratics into factored form. I know that x squared minus 9 is the same thing as x plus 3 times x minus 3. Right? That means the same thing as x squared minus 9. And I know that x squared plus 6x plus 5 is the same thing as x plus 1 times x plus 5, because 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 plus 1 multiplies to 6. So then I look to see, can anything be reduced? Those are common, so they cancel out to 1, and that's it. So our answer after this process is what's left, 5x times x minus 3 over x plus 1 times x plus 5. I then just want to account for what are the x values that will not work for this expression. I've learned that you can never divide by 0, so I want to go through and make sure what can I not plug in for x, because it would make me end up dividing by 0. So right here I see x cannot be equal to a -3. That would create a 0. Right here, 3 times 3 is 9, so x can also not be 3, because that would create a 0. The other option here is -3, but I've already accounted for that. So then I look at this one right here. It helps me see it in factored form. So right here, x is not allowed to be equal to -1, because that would create a 0. And right here, x would not be allowed to be equal to -5. So on my graph, I want to make sure that I show that these x values will not work.